All right, guys. Well, congratulations on the newest venture on Maryland. This is going into the Opportunistic Fund. This is right here in Central Phoenix, 78 units. But I'm going to let you guys talk about it because this is really exciting. Start out by telling me, Jameson, maybe this is for you. How'd you find this deal?
Yeah, we've been following this property for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're really excited to be able to acquire it, bring it to our investors. And we love it because it's right up from our office. We know this neighborhood well. This part of Phoenix has a lot of stable residents and renters. So it's an area that we always have our eye on.
Mm-hmm.
And the property was bought in 2022 for $17 million, and the plans from that owner were to renovate the whole building. It had been owned by a prior owner for a long time, to that like 30 years. Not much renovations happened. Maintenance happened, but not much renovations. So property felt dated, and their plan was to renovate it. So they bought it for $17 million. They had a budget to do the renovations. The renovations never were completed. Some of them were started but never completed. Mm-hmm. There was some operational issues, and it was also around the time that interest rates started going up and things started changing soon after the building was acquired from the current seller. Mm-hmm. So we took a look at it a year ago. We liked the building. We knew that there would need to be some renovations for us to acquire it and to get the rents to where the property needs to be at. Mm. But the rents in this neighborhood could be really well supported. There's plenty of demand from renters for updated units. There's a building just adjacent to us that they're renting for about $1,700 for a one-bedroom.
Wow.
And it's a brand new building. Love to live in a brand new building, but a lot of people can't quite afford that. Mm-hmm. And our one-bedrooms will be about $1,400, and they'll be renovated. So right next door. That just kind of gives you an idea of the rents in the neighborhood, and that's why we have a lot of confidence that as we renovate the units, we'll be able to rent it for that amount. Mm-hmm. And we weren't able to acquire it last year, but as the new year came around, things changed, and basically the seller is in a position where they need to sell it. They need to move off of it. There's some pressure from the lender.
Yep.
And it's what I would call like a forced sell situation.
Yeah.
And we also have a very good financing in place. And it's actually from the lender who currently has the loan on the building.
Okay.
So we're essentially able to purchase it at very good discount at $10.7 million. This is down from $17 million 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we have really great accommodative financing that's going to allow us to purchase the property, and they're giving us a budget to do the renovations. And we're budgeting $2 million in CapEx to do the renovations over the first 12 to 16 months. And so the deal came together really well. We're excited about the plan. Our team's excited to get in and do the work as well.
So very exciting. I love all of this. It's 78 units. Heidi, can you speak a little bit to, James had already talked about this a bit, but speak to the renovations a little bit and what your plans are.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there's about 12 to 14 renovated units as we've walked through, and minor renovations done so far, but going through updating flooring, updating appliances as needed, just really giving it a makeover. It's got a good bone structure, but there's just little small changes that we can make that can really bring up the value of the property.
Definitely.
Old carpets that can really turn away a renter very fast. It turns me away really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So things like that, updating the bathrooms as well. That's a huge thing. People love, nice, clean.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our focus. If you've ever watched renovations, it's just like a clean, crisp look. So just taking the properties as they are and then giving them the updated appliances, updated paint, flooring, just to give it a really nice, clean, simple look. Nothing too extraordinary. We don't put red walls in there and then you can't modify it to yourself. We really try to make it so our tenants can come in and feel like they can make it their own.
And with having a budget for renovations, how soon do you think these renovations will begin? How soon do you think they'll be completed?
That's another good question. I geek out about planning this stuff. Jameson knows. I just go in my office and start scheduling it all out. We plan to do the renovations over the next 12 to 15 months after purchasing the deal. So we'll turn over units as they come up, as their leases come up.
Gotcha.
And one thing that we've noticed as we do these like renovations as leases come up is a lot of the tenants end up wanting to move into these renovated units. So their lease comes up, we have renovated ones available. A lot of them want to stay and just go to a renovated unit. So that's a really big benefit of doing it while it's leased.
And Heidi is really good at puzzles. You know, some people love puzzles, and she's one of them. So this is a puzzle because we want to, when the renewals come up, meaning somebody's lease has expired, those are the ones we'll go in and do the work on. And then, but we need to plan it out so that we keep our crew busy around that whole time. And it's come up to, it's going to be about 7 or 8 units a month our crew will get access to, and they'll renovate them. It'll take 1 to 2 months to renovate the units. And then once they're renovated, we hand them directly over to our Venture Residences property management team to start leasing up. And we expect lease up will take about 6 weeks to lease up a unit.
Okay.
And we can handle about 7 or 8 lease ups per month. So it's definitely going to be a team effort, a lot of execution, a lot of good communication, starting with the puzzle that Heidi's put together. So we have it structured so that as these leases come up, our team will be busy, and she has the whole plan there. And I'm glad she does those details because she's great at it. And yeah, it's about we don't have a new building here. This thing was built in the 60s. But when you go into a renovated building, and you're the first one to live in a newly renovated building, it feels like a new building.
Yeah.
So new kitchens, new bathrooms, new flooring, new paint, new fixtures on the wall. We also are doing some work to the AC system is called the chiller system, and the big system that chills the whole building is in good condition, but a lot of the air handlers in each unit are old, and they just haven't been replaced, some of them 20, 30 years as we did our inspection. And
so some of this is cosmetic, and then some of it is fundamental. Like some of these renovations are things that you're going to make this a really, really great place, not only to look at, but to live in as well.
Yeah, people in some of those units, they don't cool as much as they should, and it's because the air handler needs to be updated. And roof is in good condition. Parking lot's in good condition. There's some nice covered parking. We have a great courtyard. One of the things that we're working on right now is some of the grass that it used to have a nice grass, and some of that's died. We're in July, so but they also had some problems with the irrigation system. We got to get that. They're working on that right now because we want to keep the trees and the landscape. So most of it is cosmetic, and in the in-unit basis, it'll still have that feel of kind of a nice 60s style building, but it'll be new, it'll be updated, and it'll have the nice courtyard in the middle that's green with a nice, beautiful pool.
Nice.
I think one thing too, when we're talking about that versus a brand new build, a lot of these brand new builds have all these extra amenities that you think you're going to love. I mean, I moved into an apartment complex and they had a movie theater, and we thought that's so great. We would love to use it.
Totally.
You never use these, and you pay all this extra money for all these.
Yeah, how many
extra
times did you
amenities.
use the movie theater?
Never. I never once walked into that movie theater. And they've got these pool tables and all these things.
Right.
And, when you're going in, you're like, wow, this is amazing. But for $200 more a month, ultimately you look at it, I'd rather save the $200, have the amenities that matter, and then go do those fun things elsewhere.
Absolutely. Take your $200 a month and actually go to the movie theater.
Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt your question.
No. Thank you. Well, I wanted to also get into kind of the loan terms. Jameson, you talked about this a little bit, but can you get more specifically into the financing of this? How much is coming from Neighborhood Ventures? How much is coming from, if it's maybe financing, debt terms? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the current lender is going to be our lender, and they're giving us a very accommodative loan for this deal, which is important right now because debt is it's the largest part of the capital stack. Typically, when you do a short-term bridge loan, you might get it for 1 or 2 years, and we negotiated with the lender to do a 3-year term. That gives us plenty of time to execute our plan, to either sell the building, refinance it down the road. But the 3-year term was important to us. We also have a fixed rate loan for that term. It's at 8%. Many of the bridge loans that are similar to this are more in the 10.5%, 11% today. So we got a very good rate, and they're financing 100% of the renovation costs, $2 million in CapEx. The balance, which is about $3.5 million, is coming from the equity that we're raising from our investors. So the great thing about the lender is because they already have the loan on the property, they understand the property well, they really believe in the property. And that's part of why they want to keep the loan in place.
Yeah.
And we all, obviously they have a new borrower, a new sponsor, a new owner. We spend our track record and how we do our business, how we do renovations, how we do property management. And so they're excited to stay in the deal, to reinvest, believe in it long term. They also believe that they see the value in that, how that those renovations are going to immediately impact rents. And the property that was the plan originally. It just didn't happen. So they believe in that long term. So it's important to have a lender that is aligned, and we really feel that we do.
Definitely. Can you talk a little bit to the Opportunistic Fund, because this is a part of the Opportunistic Fund? Talk a little bit about, if you can and you want to, talk a little bit about what this means for people who invest in Venture on Maryland through the Opportunistic Fund.
Yes, we have a few different share classes in the investment offering. Investors can invest directly in the property in Maryland for a 12% preferred return, and that is an option. We've always raised capital from Arizona residents via Arizona crowdfunding with that 12% preferred return, and we continue to do that to support our Arizona residents and our Arizona investors who have been supporting us from the beginning.
Yeah.
The other way that you can invest in the property is to invest in the Opportunistic Fund. And so you have a few different options. To invest in the Opportunistic Fund, you have to either be an accredited investor, which means you have a large net worth, million net worth, or really strong income to qualify as an accredited investor. Or if you're an Arizona resident, you can invest in the Opportunistic Fund also. So we really focus on Arizona residents for our investors. We love having local folks invest in our projects. It is open nationally to accredited investors as well.
And this is the fourth distressed asset you have acquired in how many years?
Yeah, so the Opportunistic Fund we launched last year, and this will be the fourth asset in that fund.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So Jameson, you talked about this just a little bit, but let's get into this as well. I know that you have a 3-year agreement right now. Do you have any exit strategies, or are you kind of just focusing on getting it renovated?
No, we do. We definitely do. In fact, when you start looking at this from the beginning, a project like this, the plan is what is the exit strategy?
Yeah.
Is it and you look at that from the outset. The exit strategy on this one is pretty clear. It's a 3-year term. Year one is going to be focused on doing the renovations and leasing up the units throughout the process. Year two is stabilizing the property with finishing up the renovations, finishing up the lease up, and continuing to improve the tenant base. And then year three is really operating it well. We think we're going to see some rent increases because there's going to be a shortage of supply, because that puts us out to 2028. Those things are likely, and we'd like to be in a position where property stabilized, and we'll just operate it well at that point. And then by that end of that third year, we would exit the property with a sell. That would that would be our target term, and it may end up happening a little bit before that. But that's our plan from the beginning. And then when you sell a property like this, you're selling a stabilized, renovated, what we call a turnkey asset to someone. So they're able to come in, just collect the cash flows. They don't have to worry about doing all the work with the renovations and the lease up. And so there's a lot of value in what we're going to do over the next 3 years for that buyer in year 3.
Yeah, and you already have this put in place. This plan is already put in place. This is how you handle all of your assets. So, Heidi, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it makes it a great property for anyone in a 1031 situation looking to go into a new asset. A lot of 1031 buyers and sellers, they don't want to go and get an asset and have to spend all this extra money renovating it. This is having a perfectly renovated, stabilized asset. It just makes it a gold mine.
Yeah. What would you say, both of you, to people who are excited about this new venture, who are maybe looking to invest or on the fence about investing? What would you guys say to them today?
The biggest point that I'm having with investors right now is that right now we're in a down part of the multifamily cycle, and this is a cyclical industry. So you can see real easily that this property was purchased in 2022 at $17 million. That was the high part of the recent cycle, and now we're buying the same property without renovations
at a 30% discount, right?
With some renovations. They renovated about a dozen units at $10.7 million.
Yeah, that's huge.
So we're purchasing at a down part in the cycle, and that's, as an investor, that's when you want to invest. You make your money in real estate at the purchase, at the investment. So right now's the time to invest. Let the next few years work themselves out. We're going to take our plan, execute it with the renovations and the lease up, but that's my biggest overall message right now is you want to buy in the market right now. If you have money to invest, multifamily is a good place to put it at this point in the cycle.
Cool.
I would just speak to track record, and for Arizona investors, go drive by. That's one of the benefits of why we invest in Arizona is that you can go drive by. You can go see it, see the potential that we see in it, take a look at our offering video, what we provide. We're really transparent about everything. That's one of the big benefits about our company is we make it really easy to understand, really transparent. So look through the stuff, watch the video, and drive by it. Go see it for yourself.
Yeah, we have a fun video that we put together. Went and ate at Culinary Dropout right around the corner.
Oh, nice.
Because this is right on the restaurant row on 7th
There's
Avenue,
so
7th
much.
Street. Anyone who lives here, this is where you kind of come for
You can
all the
walk.
restaurants. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Cool.
So we did a little recording there, and it's that's the big. As an investor, you want to invest in great properties and great locations. That's definitely meets the criteria for this one.
Awesome.